Hello, and welcome to another Assemble This video. I'm so excited that you decided to join me today. I'm assembling two cards using a wonderful new stamp set, and I'll share one of my favorite simple card layouts that you can use over and over again. I'm featuring the Sending a Happy Hello February 2022 Sentiment Kit from Unity Stamp Company. I just love that gorgeous mailbox and flower image. It's going to be so fun to color up and lots of great sentiments in this kit as well. I have my images and sentiments pre-stamped using some Copic-friendly ink like Gina K Amalgam ink on some Nina Solar White 80-pound cardstock. I did color these images while watching TV one night, so I didn't record my process, but here's all the colors that I used in coloring these images. I do have other coloring videos on my channel if you're interested, since my coloring technique doesn't really change much. Once my images were all colored in, I pulled out my new favorite scallops and rectangles dies from Unity Stamp Company. I just love the way these shapes mat together in two different sizes. I started out with the large rectangle and lined it up around my image. I like to tape it down so it doesn't shift around when I send that through my die cut machine. And these dies just cut so beautifully, and I love the stitch border that it adds. It's just a tiny detail that is subtle but adds so much to each card. For the second card, I die cut it in a landscape position just for something different. For some reason, I don't make very many landscape cards, but I thought it was a great way to show how this easy layout can be done in either direction. Plus, it's just fun for me creatively just to kind of challenge myself and switch things up. Now I'm just going to die cut two scallop rectangles for the matting. I'm feeling the white on white look for this particular card, so I used the same Nina Solar White so the two layers wouldn't clash by using two different white tones. So there are two approaches to card making and coloring images. You either color first and then pick your pattern paper, or you pick your pattern paper and then color your images to match. I was feeling a bit risky, so I'm doing the second method for this set of cards. Honestly, it was because I decided to color in front of the TV and I wasn't next to my paper stash. So I pulled out a stack of pattern paper and I just started layering my image on top of all the different colors and patterns, just looking for something that popped out to me, that just really called and said, yep, that's the one that I want. If you pick your paper first, it's much easier to pull out the perfect markers to match, but this was kind of fun to do as well. Makes you go through all your stuff to find something that really makes you happy and tickles your fancy. In the end, I was really feeling the stripe, and it really is just me. You might have seen me pass by something and thought, oh no, stop, pick that one. But it was just what I was feeling in this moment. I liked the gray and red stripes, so that's what I went with. Once those patterns were picked, I die cut them with this blanket stitch die by Pink Fresh Studios. I always prefer a little border stitch of some kind since most of my cards are simple. This is a great way to add interest and texture to each layer. Then I just glued down all the layers directly down onto my card front. Again, I just really like that subtle pattern that you get behind the two white layers. It just really makes the colored image the focal point of the card. But by adding these layers and different die cuts, you're really adding a subtle interest that really is pleasing to the eye. It's just a simple way to add a little bit more to each card. So once all those were glued down, I'm just going to pop up that center colored panel using some foam adhesive. This is some 2-inch foam tape from scrapbook.com. It's my favorite. I just really love the size of this. It just really makes covering panels like this super easy. Just going to center that right in the middle of that die. What I love about this die set from Unity is that the scallop has a stitch and then also the rectangle has a stitch, and they line up perfectly. So you can use them separately or you can use them together. I just really like that little detail on both layers. Now, just to finish everything off, I decided to go with enamel dots this time. A lot of times I'll use sequins or Nuvo drops just to kind of add a little bit more dimension to the card and a little bit more interest. I had these enamel dots in my stash that probably have been there for years, so I thought it was time to use them up. And really, the colors match perfectly. So I'm just placing them down in an odd number, starting out with kind of focusing on the sentiment, doing 2 on one side and then 3 on the other, or 2 and then 1. I kind of really fooled around with the teal one. I don't know why I struggled with this one a little bit more, but I wanted to have an odd number, and here I was at 4 and I needed to add one more, so I ended up kind of focusing on creating a diagonal line. It turned out in the end, it's probably not my favorite placement, but I'm not mad at it. It works out. And then just to add a bit of shine to that mailbox, I pulled out my Wink of Stella clear glitter pen, just kind of give it a metallic look, and again, another dimension of shine. When the person picks up the card and kind of moves it around, it'll catch the light. So here are the final cards. I just can't help but love the simple layers and design. It is just one that I use over and over again. Just by changing up the pattern papers and colors of the mailbox, you get a different look and feel. Of course, you can make it for any occasion by picking out the perfect sentiment in this kit as well. As always, I'll have all the supplies linked in the description of this video on my channel, as well as on my blog. Please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you enjoyed it. Plus, if you have any questions or a sweet comment, post below. Thank you again for joining me today. I hope you were inspired, and I'll see you next time. Bye.